innovation laboratories to be set up in every engineering college across the country to bring a change or a revolution to make everybody to be innovative. I would like to tell you a real innovation made by Titan watches today to you. How many of you, it's again only the gents version is available, there is no ladies watch available, by name Edge. Anyone of you have that brand, Edge? Maybe it's a little costly, costs around 7,000 rupees as well today, I think so. But the beauty of that is the thinnest watch available in the world. The thinnest watch, which has the thickness of a floppy disk. Now that floppy disk is also out of the market. I don't know whether you have seen the floppy disk? Yes. So this has the thickness of the floppy diskette. So, you know who is the leader in the watch industry? It's a Swiss, isn't it? But this achievement of making the thinnest watch, which is, I think it's 3.5 mm. That's right, 3.5 mm. Watch was made none other than by the Tata. Swiss could not do it. See, this was started when Mr. Desai, whose name is Desai, the managing director of the Titan watch division, was entrusted the task of making the thinnest watch in the year 1994. But he set his team for an orbit shifting challenge to create the slimmest, at the same time it is water resistant watch in the world. That is how the Edge was born. See, the most difficult task was that you have to make a movement. The movement available at that point of time was 3.4 mm thick. To make the whole watch to be 3.4 mm thick, the movement has to be brought down to 1.15 mm. The movement has to be brought down to 1.15 mm. See, that's not an easy task. This team went to, first thing as usual, they went to the Switzerland, to find out whether they have any technology available to do it. The team came back saying, exploring everywhere, they went everywhere, found out that they don't have any technology available to do that. Having come back to India, they decided to develop this in-house. The most important problem that you find in making this, the smallest one, is the battery. The battery should last long, no? Every 1 month you cannot change the battery. Normally I think you change the battery every 1 year or so. So the battery was something which is difficult to make. Battery and the movement, the step motor, everything has to be only this 1.15 mm thickness. So that they could achieve by developing a silicon chip for that. And the next task was to develop the case for that. That is a water resistant case, which is 3.5 mm. Totally it should be only 3.5 mm. Even that could be done by the Tata Group. See, this is how they achieved this, is to by instilling in people the self-belief that they could do it. That's what I was trying to tell. To create a self-confidence among the group of people that you can create this in India. And to find the right people to do the right job. So that is how the watch, the Edge, was born. Now, I had when I was going through the exhibitions in the morning, I found one thing, because I now live in Delhi. Now Delhi and Mumbai are the two places which are always, we have the terrorist attacks, the bombs are placed everywhere and several people are being killed. And if you have a device by which you can find out where they detect the bombs, maybe you will save the country from terrorist attacks. Now we have got, something of similar one I could see there, which I think will be the future trend. You will have to have bomb detectors which could have surveillance of a larger area, maybe from like your radars and things like that, something which looks out from the sky, moving over it and find out whether you will have bombs placed on the sky. Now the technology is going into miniature ones. Your chairman has been telling you that your mobile phones will be something of the sort of only watch. It is miniaturization is taking place every then and then. But I find that I have a laptop which is only this much in size. But the charger of that is much heavier than this. But without carrying the charger, this is useless because this has to be charged. What shall I do? You have to have innovation to take place in that technology also. So there is so much things which you have to do. Don't think that with the invention which somebody has done, it is all over. Every day you find new things which have to be done, new innovations which will have to come in. So every now and then you will have to find out ways and means of finding out new things, how you will innovate such things. Now, when I was introduced as a transportation engineer. Good. Thank you for that, but I just wanted to ask you one question again, that is the biggest problem you are facing today. You have good roads in Tamil Nadu, good, but still you are going to face the problem of traffic congestion. How do you solve it? It's going to be a big question. See, if you look to the history of the world, you will find that the representative technology of the 19th century was railroad engineering. If you look at the 20th century, it must be automobile and aircraft. If you look at the 21st century, I would say it is computers. But the development of railroad engineering, which has taken place in the 19th century, has now taken pace with the other technology. So I have seen that you have the races which take place on the there on the ground, where you have the cars which is made, or the robots or cars or whatever you call, which being monitored remotely, and who will win, we will see when the results are announced. But see, only thing which I find is that in the near future you will have moving roads. You will have only moving roads. The road will be moving and you will be stationary there in your vehicle. And that's the only thing which is going to solve your problems. How long you will widen your road? There's a limit up to which you can widen the road. The only then thing is that there will have moving roads or moving pavements, which you get into that, maybe you will have a slow movement to faster to reach to that point, and then you get into that, and that will solve your problem. Maybe I don't know when it is going to happen. So we have the intelligent transportation systems which are going to be in place for that. Now, I don't take much of your time. I would like to quote two great scientists because your chairman has also said quoted two scientists. So I thought I will also quote two scientists. So I would like to quote the Albert Einstein. He says that it is not that I am so smart, it is that I stay with problems longer. I'm not smart, but I stay with the problem for longer. This is the message which I have to give it to your young students here, that perseverance, you stay longer with your problem, you will be much better in finding out an innovative product. Now one more thing is that probably I should have told that Louis Pasteur said that when observation is concerned, chance favors prepared mind. Chance favors prepared mind. So I just wanted to tell you one more thing again from Tata Industries. You know that the nano cars are there now, it has become a reality. How did the origin of nano, why it has come, is that Mr. Ratan Tata, one afternoon, when he moved out of his office on a rainy day, he was moving out of his office in his car on the road, he found a family of 5 members moving in a scooter. It's a quite normal scene on a rainy day, and meeting with an accident in front of his car. So that struck him. That has gone into his mind. He thought, why not I make a vehicle which can carry all this 5 together at the same price of that scooter. That is the idea which has gone into his mind from the observation he has made on the road. So he made it, isn't it? So chance favors only prepared mind. Again, another advice to the young people who are sitting here. See, you have, I'm closing down my talk because already late. I have no doubt that event like Futura will bring out the best talent available amongst the student community. You have really participated. I think a lot of students have come out from so many other colleges here. But when I look at it again, I just take one moment again. I have a feeling that being in the academic line, being in the technical education for the last several years, I have a feeling that, you see, you have semester system. We should limit our academic program for 4 months every semester, and 2 months should be set apart for such kind of events. Maybe technical, maybe art festival or things like that. But that should be outside that 4 months. Say, if it is June, July, August, September is your academic period, it should take place outside that. So that the advantage is that the students from other colleges can also come and participate here. Now, the students will have to come out from other colleges leaving their studies, or you also will have to leave out. So, I was just thinking, can we not have a calendar for such kind of things, wherein it should be done outside this 4 months every semester? Say you get 2 months, out of 6 months every half year, you will get 2 months to conduct this kind of student contest. So I just would like to just give you from that. Now you have done this wonderfully well. This Futura 2011 is the real success, which from the report which I have listened from your student secretary, that is really good. And I congratulate all the winners. The results are yet to be announced. I do not know who you might also be. I mean, it's not yet announced. No, it's not yet announced. But I congratulate them well in advance of that. So you have made it. So I hope that the message which I have given you will really make you real innovators of India, to make India a growing or developing country. I hope that the Futura 2011 has provided you rich experience that was both stimulating and gratifying, as you had put your knowledge and experience to work. But you will have to continue to practice it wherever you work, wherever you practice your profession. I once again congratulate all the participants of Futura 2011, and also wish to thank the students of BIT, the faculty members, the management, the chairman, the director, the principal, the chief executive officer, all the faculty members, Mr. Vyas, and all others who are the stakeholders of this one, for inviting me, and also thank you for arranging a wonderful event like this. Thank you very much.
Thank you for finding the right people to do the right job. And sir, as you pointed out, we will ensure that the trend continues.
Second prize, Shettinadu College of Engineering and Technology, Karur, Jeeva and Vigneshwari. Information technology. The first prize goes to Government College of Technology. The students are Kanishka and Dinesh Kumar. Again, in the IT department, second prize goes to Tyagarajar College of Engineering, Madurai. The student. In Master of Computer Applications, the first prize goes to Kongi Engineering College, Divya Darshini and Kartika. Second prize goes to Sri Krishna College of Engineering and Technology. The student is Shyamala Gauri. Now we will move on to Electronics and Communication Engineering. The first prize goes to Kungi Engineering College. The students are Lakshmanan and Dhanraj. Again, the second prize goes to Kungi Engineering College. The student is Bharat Raj. In Electrical and Electronics Engineering, the first prize goes to Ungu Engineering College. The students are Nilesh and Suganya. The second prize goes to Amita School of Engineering. The student is Vijay Rishi Raja Prakash. In electronics and instrumentation engineering, the first prize goes to Kalasilingam University. The student is Ananta Krishnan. The second prize goes to KGISL Institute of Technology. The students are Mohammed Wasan and Kaushik. KGISL. Now in fashion technology, the first prize goes to KS Rangasamy College of Technology. The student is S. Jagan. The second prize goes to SSM College of Engineering. The students are Lokesh and Jodi. Textile technology, the first prize goes to PSG College of Technology. The students are Muthu Preeti and Vishwanathan. Again, the second prize goes to PSG College of Technology. The students are Deepak and Prashant. There are two programs in textile technology. In program 2, the first prize goes to KSR College of Technology. The student is S. Jagan. The second prize goes to PSG College of Technology. The students are Surya Darshini and Jennifer. Under mechanical cluster, in mechanical engineering, the first prize goes to SNS College of Technology. The students are Rajashekaran and Rowan. The second prize goes to Nimra Institute of Science and Technology, Gujarat. The students are Sai Ram and Sankara. In aeronautical engineering, the first prize goes to Nehru Institute of Engineering and Technology. The student is Thirumal Valavan.